Welcome to Story Time with me, Miss Sheila. I hope you're having a wonderful and beautiful day. See the beautiful sculpture of the owl? And there's a baby owl in it, and its wings. Isn't that cool? So the story I'm reading to you today is called The Christmas Owl, and it's based on a true story that happened in November of 2020. So let's find out what it's all about, okay? Okay. Once in a little town, in a little front yard, lived a little owl high in the branches of a very big tree. For the curious little owl, not even a year old, the world was filled with wonder. Streams were for splashing, forests were for flying, and friends of all feathers were merrily made. Look at all his friends, and there is the baby owl. Isn't that cool? One day, when winter had arrived, the town around her began to transform. Houses were decorated, lights were strung, jingles and music filled the icy air. Little Owl watched and listened, and that night, when darkness came, the whole town glittered and glowed. "What's going on here?" she asked her friends. "Christmas," said Moose. "And what is that?" Little Owl said. "Not sure," said Rabbit. "No idea," said Skunk. "No one knows," said Squirrel. "But it happens every year." The next morning, Owl, confused as ever, Little Owl flew home, where she found some people standing around the big tree's trunk. So there's her home and everyone's standing around it. "It's beautiful," said one of them. "It'll be perfect for the Christmas tree," said another. "A Christmas tree?" Little Owl wondered. "My home is Christmas?" The workers began attaching wires and ropes to the tree. As Little Owl hid in the shadows, the branches pulled tight around her. She was trapped. Then she heard a roar. The tree shook, spinning and swaying. It was lowered down onto a truck. Little Owl was dizzy. "Is this Christmas?" See, she's stuck in the tree. "Say goodbye to our tree," someone called as the big truck rumbled away. "Your tree?" wondered Little Owl. "How can anyone own a tree?" So it's being moved and they're going to take it. For hours and hours they drove. The cold wind rushed beneath her feathers. Little Owl was hungry, but there was nothing to eat. She was thirsty, but there was nothing to drink. She was lonely and her friends were far, far away. Look at it. How sad is that? Is this Christmas? Pinned against a tree, she tried to sleep. And see, they're on the highway going far. At last, 3 days later, the truck came to a stop. Again, the tree jostled and lifted. Then all at once, its branches spread. Worn and weak, Little Owl edged out into the light. "Where am I?" She looked in the city. Look at that. Below her, hundreds of people stomped and scowled, and cars clogged the streets. Above, strange towers scraped the sky. "This is not home." She tried to flap her wings, but she wasn't strong enough. As her eyes were closing, she saw. Oh, poor Little Owl was scared. "There's an owl in here. Look at, one of the workers found her." Oh, and look at, he put her in a box and then drove her and met up with somebody. Gave the owl to her. Oh, when Little Owl awoke, she was in a box. It opened and a new face peered inside. "Hello, little one. I'm Helen. Let's see. Let's get you inside." So she's at a Ravensbeard Wildlife Center. Oh, she got rescued. Thank goodness. Whatever Christmas was, it seemed to have gotten inside the house. The place was warm and cozy and lit, and it seemed oddly to be made for birds. "Why are you here?" Little Owl asked. "Broken leg," said Hawk. "Broken wing," said Falcon. "But Helen looks after us until we're ready to fly free home again." After all this, Little Owl wondered, could a human really help? Good question. Over the next days, little Owl gulped down water and gobbled log meat mice. She was given an x-ray, and every day Helen checked her feathers, eyes, and ears. Helen is helping. Could Christmas be caring? Could Christmas be kind? Yes. Helen had little Owl in her hands. After all you've been through, she said, it's a miracle you're alive. But was little Owl ready to fly? Almost, cried her new friends. Ellen smiled. Almost, she said, because look at one wing is out. Almost. Yay. At last, at dusk on Christmas, they drove to the top of the mountain. Helen lifted little Owl from the box and raised her arms. You're free, she said. Welcome home. For the last time, the friends looked at each other. Then little Owl flapped her wings and flew higher and higher into the sky. There she goes. But she wasn't going home just yet. When at last she reached the very big tree, which was now a very big Christmas tree, she settled on her favorite branch. There she is, all lit up in the branches. Bright and brilliant, the city was not what she had remembered. The cars had disappeared. The great towers were merrily lit. The people were smiling and skating. Some were even singing. They held hands and hugged. All it seemed was eager to love. Is this Christmas? Yes, little Owl thought it must be. For some time, little Owl sat basking in the golden glow. When at last the moon peeked above the building, she knew it was time to go home. So where she was, where that tree was taking to, was Rockefeller Park in New York City. You're back, her friends cried, gathering around her. And just in time for Christmas, squealed Moose. Whatever that is, said Rabbit. Actually, I may have learned something about it, said little Owl, as they nuzzled close. Could you tell us? Of course, said little Owl, knowing full well that this was Christmas too, being together. Look at it. And so then at the back it just shows the story of the little owl that actually got caught in the tree and was taken all the way to New York City for the Rockefeller tree. Isn't that not incredible? So I hope you enjoyed the story. Until next time with me, Michelle. Keep shining light.